Hey guys, it's Kristen with ICStarsQuilting.com. Welcome to my channel. This is the International Quilt Festival video where I am showing you everything that I purchased from the festival. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've been saving up for this festival, okay? Specifically because I knew that I haven't spent a lot in the past years at this festival, and I really wanted to focus on lots of gadgets and things that would help me make things easier. So I want to work on more complicated blocks. I'm kind of thinking like what my goals over the next few years are, and like for growing my skills as a quilter, and how people have already made that path easier so that I can jump on that wagon and start getting closer to where my goals are and how I can be a better quilter. So I found a lot of really good things. Again, I purchased a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I had a great time shopping. So I wanna show you the things that I got. During the quilt festival, I took a class by Catherine Redford, and I really enjoyed it. So you probably saw this from one of my other videos. This is the hand embroidery piece that I'm working on, and see, it's so pretty. I'm gonna take time this afternoon and finish out this project because I know that if I don't finish it out, it's gonna sit here and it's gonna bug me for like a really long time that it's not done. So this actually, her little kit that she gave us came with felt, and it is a needle book to keep your needles for when you're doing handwork. So I'm gonna finish that out this afternoon. But because I really wanted to focus on, like, I know how to hand sew, but I don't know a lot of beautiful embroidery techniques, and I admire that. I don't have the patience for a lot of slow quilting, and if you remember when I was, when I broke my shoulder and I had shoulder surgery and I was like completely out of sewing for a really long time, I ended up using a kit that I had purchased from a long time ago to do a hand sewing project. Celestial type of, it's got like a map of the stars and it's beautiful, and it's still half done because guess what? My shoulder got better before the project got done. I still have like plans and intentions of finishing that. So with that in mind, I bought a whole bunch more hand sewing projects. Okay, so I'm working towards that goal. Remember what I said in the beginning of knowing where I want to go in a few years and equipping myself with the tools to have on hand to get there. So let me start with some of the things that I got from Catherine Redford. Now, she had a whole list, like a whole bunch of products, like this one right here, which is a butterfly sewing kit. Now it comes with the printed fabric. Okay, so I don't know if you can kind of like see, like right here along the side, it's got this printed fabric panel, and it came with the embroidery thread to do it. So it's like a butterfly and a wreath. So I purchased this from her class, and I also got a couple of her books here. There's another little book in here somewhere, but I also got this one right here that is absolutely beautiful by her. Okay, so it's Catherine Redford, and she is the most adorable woman, and she was very kind when she was teaching, and she's looking at my stitches going, well, that's an interesting way to do things. But she came back by and she said, okay, let's take this out and let's start over again. And she was really sweet about it. And I learned a whole lot, and I'm very excited to work on those. Hey, here's the other book. Okay, so here's the other book. So this one just has other little patterns and like to-dos, how step by step how to do each of the beautiful stitches that she talks about, as well as gorgeous photography of the pieces that she has done so that you can be inspired by it. So with that theme, I went a little bit, I don't know, you could say overboard, or I went inspired by lots more hand projects. So let's start with what next? Well, let's just start with this. Okay, so I went through Wonderfill booth, and they had a sale on their threads. Now these are polyester threads. Now, I don't typically quilt with polyester, but there are some fabrics that the polyester would be really good with, And this pack, look at all of these rainbow threads. Do you see this? All these rainbow threads really caught my eye, and I thought it would be a really, really good deal to have and get like some of these bigger spools of nice quality Wonderfil threads. And I also grabbed from their clearance section, these are also polyester, but I also grabbed this beautiful like, I don't know, I guess you'd call it a gradient, even though like each thread is a different color, but these nice soft purple colors. So I have some projects that I know I want to use this on as well. So I typically like to do my threads and make the content of my threads match the content of my fabric just for wear at the same time over a long period of time. If you are not doing a quilt that you want to last forever and ever and ever, like you just want a play quilt or like a picnic quilt or something like that, I would not worry about the content of the thread matching the content of the fabric as much. But you know, if you've ever found like an antique quilt where like the fabric is just worn to bits but the thread is still absolutely perfect, that is a good indication that like the content was not matched. And again, a really old antique quilt, they weren't worried about that at that time. They probably weren't thinking that their quilt was going to be around 150 years after they were, right? But if you're going to be really, really hard on it and you do want it to be an heirloom piece, I would match the content of the thread with the content of the fabric so that the threads don't pull at the fabric more than the fabric pulling at the threads, if that makes sense, okay? So another thing that I found at the Wonderfil booth was this right here. Now, I think we know that Kristen absolutely loves Alison Glass. This is my girl. I love everything she designs. And so when I saw these pearl cotton threads, the number 8, which is a really good kind of trusted, embroidery thread, hand thread, or whatever you want to call it. As far as like the industry goes, everybody just kind of recommends the pearl cotton thread number 8. But this one was Alison Glass, and it's all of these variegated different textures and colors, and I couldn't say no. I couldn't say no. So this one I believe they also had on sale, which just makes me buy it even more. But like, look at the box. Even the box is like gorgeous. Do you see like all of the Alison Glass like designs all the way around the outside of the box and on the side of the box here? I love it. So I got some Alison Glass hand thread. I'm trying to like go in a nice decent order here. This is a book that I picked up. Again, it's hand stitching. This was from the Wonderfil booth as well. So excuse me. So this is all on like hand stitching, and it has like, I'll zoom in here so you can see the different textures and layers. They added felt to this, and it has lots of different hand stitching on it. I know I'm kind of following a theme here. I swear I'm going to break away from it in just a second because I'm kind of nearing the end of my hand stitching haul, stash, whatever you want to call it. But I wanted to show you just this one extra thing that I found because it has step-by-step instructions. And when you're looking for a how-to, I know that YouTube videos are really, really popular, and people often flock to YouTube videos for like, how do I hand stitch or hand embroider a leaf or a flower or something, right? But it's really nice to go back to these old, just straight books that show you step by step how to do everything. And it also shows you like, you know, which thread, like this is talking about like wool thread and cotton thread and silk threads, and like, you know, there's a whole section on needles, on outline stitches, on cast on stitches. These are terms that I have to learn because I don't know what all of these mean. But it's really nice to go back to a book like this where you're not looking from a different teacher every single time. I know we all have our favorite YouTubers and we all have like favorite people to go and get advice from, you know, but you can find that in books too. And this is a really good place to get, like when you go to the shows and stuff, look for those books, and you can thumb through and you can see, is the design of the book easy? Is the pictures and the photography really good? Can I follow this? Can I go back to this multiple times and see exactly what's being done? So this was another really fun book that I really enjoyed while I was at the Wonderfil booth. So also on day number 2, I didn't have a video because my daughter went with me that day. My 14-year-old daughter went with me, and it was so much fun to have her there because she got to see that like her mom's legit, and we're gonna keep that like between you and me. But yeah, her mom's legit and her mom's not crazy. Okay, maybe a little bit, but you know what? Just let me have my moment, okay? But, you know, she found some things that she really enjoyed too. Of course, she loved looking at like, there's jewelry booths there. There was one jewelry booth that had a whole bunch of amber and like sterling silver, gorgeous things. And she just got her ears pierced at 14. So she found a few things, but we also found, she's gotten really into the gem paintings. And if you're not familiar with this, this one is actually a journal. So it's a usable one, but the front of the journal is like a stickiness to it, right? And then inside this pack, there is these little bitty different, it's almost like a paint by number, but with jewels. So little crystals on it. And you take the packages, open them up, and then you put them on the spots where they go. So we each got one of these little journals, and we were gonna do these together and like make it, you know, a fun mother-daughter project. But these are really, really fun. You can also find these on Amazon too. But they were at the quilt show, and I thought that they would be a really good craft. And it's just kind of something to keep creative, keep with these beautiful like quilt inspired patterns and these like, you know, mandalas and stuff, to keep inspired, but to do something just a little bit different with your brain to shake things up a little bit. Let's go to this. Sure, why not? I'll show you this quilt kit that I bought. And I went into the quilt show saying I'm not buying another quilt kit because I still have a quilt kit from last year that has not been sewn and it probably won't get sewn for a while. So I said I'm not buying another quilt kit. But in each of the booths, they have like quilts that are hanging across the back of the booths to kind of like frame in the booths and block out the people from behind the booths, you know, so you're looking at like only the one booth and kind of makeshift some walls, right? And there was this gorgeous panel where it says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas." And I love, love, love that song, okay? So I went up to the lady and I said, "Where is that quilt panel? I need it." And she said, "Well, we don't have the quilt panel, but we have a quilt kit that has that in it, and we only have 2 of them left." So, I mean, what was I supposed to say except, no, you only have 1 of them left actually, because that other one is mine. So this is what I got. So it has this panel in it right here, and then it also has like the border fabric that goes with it, and it has the accent and the binding fabric that goes with it as well. I will have to find a backing fabric for this quilt, but I love it, and now it's mine, and no apologies. We move on from there. Okay. Oh, other little things that you can find at the quilt show. There's a lot of charities that come up at the quilt show. I've partnered with So Powerful before. There is another one that I am looking to partner with coming up in this next couple months or so. They are making quilts, children and families that have been displaced because of all of the crisis in Ukraine, and I'm working with them to see how exactly the community that I have can help them make their goals. They are giving quilts to families who have 0 possessions as a way of starting over, helping them kind of deal with the grief that they have, as well as partnering with the other companies that are giving them just their regular basic needs. So there's a lot of charities, and quilt people are just givers, right? I mean, they want to make the world a better place, be it through quilts or be it through caring, kindness, just sending a note, you know, whatever they can do, volunteering and all of that. So there was a booth that is called So Exquisite. And let me show you this one first. So my daughter saw this. So she saw this one first, and who does that look like? That looks like this boy right here. My daughter and I are having a conversation right there at the booth, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this looks like Vader. We need to get it." And I'm like, "We have 2 dogs. I'm not buying 1 ornament and not buying one for the other dog, because of course that would hurt his feelings." I don't know, right? And so we're having this conversation, and I said, okay, if you can find a Butters, I will buy the other one. Now, the company that like was making these was actually selling them, and they do a lot of charity work in Southeast Asia. So they go over there, they teach the women and children and people who are able to sew over there how to handcraft these things, how to sew, how to make things where they can in turn create a business, generate income for their home and for their family, and actually like turn their poverty around. Okay, so I'm all for that, and I probably would have bought it, but in the middle of the conversation that me and my daughter Emma Kate was having, or were having rather, is if you can find a Butters, then I will buy them both. Not realizing other people are overhearing our conversation, and they're going, and finally this the guy that was working at the booth came over, said, "What exactly are you looking for?" Because nobody understood that Butters was a dog. So here is the Butters ornament, and then we have a pair. So we have a Butters and a Vader, and that matches these two crazy weirdos that live in my house. So you find lots of little things like that, ways that people are still trying to change the world, ways that people are getting the word out there and helping those that are less fortunate, those that don't have the availability of fabric stores right around the corner like we do, those that don't have the knowledge and the ability to just learn a new task, you know, on YouTube. Okay, let's see. Let's get into the fabric that I bought. Okay, there was a lot of fabric at the shops, and I don't know who the designer of this one is, but I loved these prints. And this one, I thought it was all like butterflies, but it's that one has a bumblebee on it. I think this one has a butterfly or a dragonfly on it, but these are both, let's see, this is a yard, and this is I think it's a half yard on this one. So they have them in like little bundles already with the price on them, and then you can just pick it up and take it to the counter and pay. Here are a couple that I also got from that same booth. I bought quite a bit from that booth. This right here is just gorgeous. Do you see like the shimmer in the gold fireflies and this beautiful like botanical like print behind it? Here is another one that I got that is still that kind of like shimmery print. It's the same. Sarah Watts is the designer of both of these. She's with Ruby Star Fabrics, but it's just gorgeous. I love that metallic print to it. This came from the same booth, but it is a Moda print, and I am looking forward to playing with this one as a whole cloth on my long arm machine, but I'm not gonna like do the whole thing so you can see it, but you can see that it is in blocks, and it looks like kind of the hand dyed fabric that is just beautiful pieces. So that's what the thing is, and I'm looking forward to playing with that one with my long arm machine and doing some really fun designs on each block. Let's see, these are from that same booth. So this one is more of a kind of like it's not exactly a canvas, it's more of like a thicker linen fabric, but it's got some nice greens and whites to it. This one is a little bit thicker cotton to it, but it'd just be a really good kind of blender fabric if I have hot pink fabric in my quilt. I always have some type of hot pink fabric in my quilt. So there's this one, and that one is a yard cut, and then this one is a half yard cut. And no, I don't know what I'm doing with this yet, but I mean, look at this boy. Look at this boy. I had to buy him because he's so cute, right? Just absolutely adorable, and I'm sure something will come up where I just have to do that. One more fabric that I got from that booth, and that is, it's a panel fabric. Okay, so I'm going to show you, it's 4 blocks, and there's this one that has 2 rabbits. There's this one that has like a bear, sorry, it's a bear. There's this one that has a bear, that one that has an owl, and the last one is these 2 little foxes. And it's really cute. This will make a really easy and fun either a small like throw quilt or a baby quilt, play mat, something like that. If, you know, I look at this and immediately my mind says, cut it into 4 pieces, add some sashing, add a cute border around the edge, boom, done, quilt it, and no fuss, right? Simple, easy. I did get some fabric from a Japanese booth that I really, really liked. I did not go crazy this year because I know my personality, and my personality is to collect all the cute Japanese fabric and then think that I can't use it. I have no reasoning for it. I don't understand it any more than you do, but that's kind of what my brain says, is you can't use this, it's too precious. So what I did was I made myself get some like little fat quarter pieces right here, and it's a very soft linen-y texture, and it is just, this one has a little bit of shine to it in some spots. And then this one was just a really cute, sweet one that has some little homes and houses on it, kind of a little like farm garden type thing. So I just got a couple of them, and I'm going to make myself use them, and I'm going to enjoy them when I do. Now they also had some samples there at the booth that I guess they had made up for patterns or whatever, and they were just getting rid of some samples. So I got this cute little bag. It is a circle bag, and it has some little skirts, some little ruffles on it, and it just has like a drawstring at the top. So it's more of like a cylinder shaped bag, black on the inside, and then it has a little drawstring at the top, and it has little skirts on the side. But it's not lemons, but it reminded me of lemons. So it's like a black and white polka dot with some little yellow sprig flowers on it. And I just thought it was really sweet, really cute. It would be a really easy gift bag, right? And these were, I want to say they were like $5 samples. So they had a really like deeply discounted, and I had to. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to. That would make a really cute gift wrapping for a birthday or something, you know? And then this was another one of their sample bags that they had, and it's just like a shopping tote. It has 2 little handles up here for carrying it like this, and then it has a long shoulder strap right here, but it's just like a market tote that you would take to like a farmer's market or something. To be honest, I'm not sure what's on the fabric actually. I mean, I think it's kind of like papayas and different shapes and flowers and things on it. I'm not sure if it's fruit. Again, it was like $3 or $5. I can't remember if this one was $5 and that one was $3, or if it was the other way around, but it was very inexpensive. And I'm always looking for like a cute little bag to take to a market somewhere. I get bored very quickly and I like to change things up. Okay, moving on. The next booth that I want to show you is a fabric shop called Sweet Pea Essentials. Their booth was so crowded. Okay, they had everything marked down for show specials because they weren't taking any of it back home with them. So they had everything marked down for show specials, and I stocked up on a lot of things that I normally would not have bought, but I have been intrigued by. Again, with that same mentality of thinking, I want to do this in the future. I'm going to stock up on this stuff now while it's here and make sure that in the future, when I do get to that, I will have the supplies on hand. That is also how you end up with so much fabric and so many things that you will not have enough time to do in your life, but that's a conversation for a different day. This weekend I had fun. So check out these zippers that I got. These are beautiful. They're rainbow, right? So they have fun zippers on them, even the little like zipper pieces. So this one is 3 zippers. They're white with rainbow tape. These are a little bit longer zippers, so there's like a difference in size. These are that rose gold with the white tape. And then these are white tape with a bright pink in it. Absolutely gorgeous. I loved these. So I've been wanting to make some like bags with the cork and the fabric combined and do like a really nice quilted look to it. So with that theme, and I'm fixing to mess up my piles here and kind of make a mess. With that theme, the Sweet Pea booth also had all of these. Oh my gosh. Each of these are 18 inches by 25 plus inches. So I don't know exactly what the plus means. I guess it means they cut it roughly 25 inches and said it was good. But I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see all of these like beautiful colors that I have here. So I have like a white shiny one, more cork, some more vinyl, some that has some rose gold, some that has some gold splatter, and then some that is just a really pretty pattern to it. And like I said, a lot of different options there. Even getting it down to like 6 tubes was really, really hard for me to do. And yeah, it was really hard for me to do. But I am excited to play with that because I want to make some zipper pouches out of this faux cork and the faux vinyl. I guess it's real cork, but that look to it. I want to make some zipper pouches out of this. And now I have the zippers and I have the materials for that, and I want to mix it with some really fun quilted fabric as well. So something else I picked up from the Sweet Pea booth was this tool right here, and let me pull it out of the package. Now, if you do a lot of ruler work, you know how hard sometimes it is to pick up that little flat ruler and pick it up and move it around, right? And, you know, pick it up off your fabric and put it down. And I know I'm making that out to be like, it's not that hard. But at the end of the day, when your hands are tired and your hands are hurting, I found this little tool right here. And I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit, but it has the ability to latch on right here and come off of your ruler. So it creates this little suction cup that goes on your ruler, holds it flat, gives you a handle so you can easily move your ruler. Now, they have tools like this on Amazon. They have tools like this, you know, in your quilt shops too. This is not the first one that I've seen. It's just the first pink one that I've seen. And yeah, I know, I shop like a 5-year-old, okay? If it's pink and it's sparkly, it's mine. And I don't have apologies for that because that's just how I shop. I love it, okay? If I love it, I love it. A lot of the booths will also give away like bags. This one came with the Japanese fabric, and it was just a free little cute tote bag because, you know, if you spend over a certain amount, you get a free gift. That's how a lot of the ones come. I found this beautiful pattern right here. This quilt was just beautiful. I saw it in person and I loved it. And actually, Glenda Wilder, who is the designer of this pattern, lives about 45 minutes north of me, which is really cool. And it was nice to meet her in person. So, you know, check out her patterns if you're looking for some fun, easy, bold, modern, kind of with a traditional twist though. Her patterns were really, really lovely, and the way that she laid out the instructions was really, really nice too. So check out her website. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the link to her website down below this right here so that you can check out her website. Oh, I forgot an embroidery piece. Okay. You're going to love this. If you're sick of me talking about embroidery, skip ahead for like 2 minutes, and then then I'll be done talking about embroidery. This is on the bottom of my stack and I didn't see it. So this is an embroidery hoop kit, and I love things that are pretty. We all love things that are pretty, but I love this particular kit because not only does it come with the embroidery hoop that is shown right here on here, but it has kind of a hidden meaning to it. So it has a book inside this little bag right here. It has a book and it has some threads in here, as well as the instructional book on how to step-by-step make each flower. But what was really cute about this right here is the hidden meaning behind it. So the 2 flowers right here that are at the top and of this, that's the mom and the dad. These are birth flowers. So newsflash, if you didn't realize it, every single birth month has a birth flower, just like every single month has a gemstone that goes with it as well. So they have a birth flower. So this is the mom, or the dad and the mom, and then the ones underneath are the children. And I fell in love with that because not only is it pretty, but it kind of has a secret special meaning behind it too. So I had to have it. It is by Rosanna Diggs, and I got to meet her too. Very beautiful, very lovely, sweet, sweet girl who had a very sweet spirit as well. So that was a really fun embroidery purchase. Okay, I swear I'm done with the embroidery. I have 3 things left to show to you. One thing is these bolt buddies. Now you can get these in like like bulk on Amazon, okay, but they're Bolt Buddies, and they are little tabs. Let me pull one of them out so I can show you. I'm pretty sure you know what they are if you have been in the fabric collecting business for a while, but they're little silver clips. Let me show you right here. They're little silver clips that clip on to your bolts so that your fabric stays put and does not roll off the bolt, okay? It keeps things nicer. I found a package of 25 of them for, it was $12.50, but I ended up getting them for like $8 or $9, I think, because of it was show special, so I couldn't say no. And then the last thing that I want to show you is something that you know I love stars, and I fell in love with the technique for this. So this is a ruler set that I bought from a girl at the show, and her name is Robin Ruth, and it's Robin Ruth Design, and she does rulers, books, and patterns for strip pieced mariners, compass blocks, and quilts. Now, not only does she do this and she sells the rulers, but her quilts are phenomenal, okay? And the way that she does these stripped pieced blocks is genius, okay? I have always wanted to try this, but I was always a little bit nervous because it looks hard. That's a simple thing. It looks hard, but the way that she explained it to me and had the video on the screen showing how to do it step by step, I felt like I could do it. And that was one of the things that I really wanted to get into, was the more complicated blocks and making a quilt that looks complicated but isn't. So I have a couple pictures from her booth so you can see some of the beautiful quilts that she does. Now, I bought the Fat Robin 16-point book and ruler combo, and with that I got this pattern for free, and it is gorgeous. And I will not be using those fabrics right there, but I saw this quilt in person and it was so lovely. I mean, look at these mariners compass blocks. They look really complicated, right? I've always thought that they look really complicated, and they even have like different I guess, what do you call it, like different layouts down here and how to use them. You know, you don't have to do just a straight layout like this where it's just, what is that, looks like 12 blocks, 9 blocks there, how to do it like that. And they have different like sizes and everything. If you're into the Mariner's Compass blocks and you are like me and thinking like, I will never sew something like that, she got me. I absolutely believe that I will sew something exactly like this. So it has 16 sizes for each block, and it is anywhere from 6 to 36 inches. So there's not just one ruler for one block. It makes a whole bunch of different sizes and everything in between. So go check out her website. I'm going to put the link down here for you to go check out her website. Okay. Last and final product that I picked up from the show is a company that I have known about for a really long time, and I absolutely love these guys. So they started out on Shark Tank, like I forget how many years ago, but it was a long time ago. I saw them on Shark Tank, and they started out in the fishing industry, and their product crossed over to the sewing industry, which, I mean, who knew, right? But what they sell, it's called thread cutters, and I'm sure if you sew with me, you know about this. I don't always put it in my videos, but these thread cutter things are amazing. Okay, I have well, it's actually in my like to-go bag because I'm going sewing tomorrow with some friends. So it's in my to-go bag, but I have a ring that has the little, it's essentially this right here. Okay, so I'm going to show you this up close. It's this, okay? Right here on the sides of this are blades, okay? So you take your thread and you pull it through and it cuts it. Okay, I have one on a ring that stays around my finger when I'm doing hand sewing. Okay, so I don't have to pull out my scissors each and every time I want to cut. These are approved for the airplanes. Okay, and this one I got this time because it is on a nice little lanyard. Okay, and I have been collecting all of the things for the hand sewing projects and everything, so I decided this was going to go in my hand sewing bag as well. So Now I have this, and I always have right around me. I don't have to keep, you know, figuring out what I did with my scissors or make sure my scissors don't slip in between the couch cushion, never to be seen again, right? Now I have this with me all the time, and I am gonna do probably another video on the thread cutters because I love them and I can't say enough about them. So if you've ever wondered, can the fishing industry cross over with the sewing and quilting industry? It comes in this right here. They have smaller ones, like I said, that are rings. They have ones that can clip on the side of your sewing machine. So if you have like an older sewing machine and you wish you had the thread cutter so you don't have to pull out your scissors every time and do that, this is exactly the same thing that is on the higher priced sewing machines where you have that little snip on the side, okay? That you can pull your thread through and chop it right there and get the same nice even thread tails every single time that you sew. Whew. So that was a lot. I know that was a lot. Thank you for sticking with me through this whole video and looking at all of the wonderful things that I got from Quilt Festival this year. It's amazing. I mean, we really had a good time. I had a really good time. I loved it. If you haven't seen the other videos that I did where I talk about, you know, how to prep for quilt show, my thoughts on the quilt show, and you know, day one of the quilt show, make sure that you check those out. I am going to put links to those in the box down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope that you have a wonderful day. My name's Kristen with ICStarsQuilting.com, and I will talk to you soon. Mwah! Love you guys. Bye.